Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I am Dr. Sadabbas. This lecture consists of two parts. In part 1, we will discuss quality improvement models. We will also discuss two famous models, CMM and CMMI. Whereas in part 2, we will discuss another quality improvement model, which is the Six Sigma model. So we start our discussion on quality improvement models. In the previous lecture, we discussed some quality definition models, and uh, from the discussion, we know that quality definition models help us understand that what particular characteristics or attributes are important to consider that system a quality system. On the other hand, the focus of the quality improvement models is on improving the quality of the products. However, here the product quality is improved by improving the quality of the software development process. In other words, to improve the quality of a software product, the development process also needs to be improved. The improvement in the development process is actually dictated by some process improvement models. So there are mainly two types of software process improvement approaches that are being used in practice, and these approaches are known as model-based approaches and continuous improvement approaches. The model-based approaches are also referred to as problem-oriented approaches or top-down approaches, whereas continuous improvement approaches are called as solution-oriented approaches or bottom-up approaches. Uh, Model-based approaches actually compare the organizational processes with a reference model and can be used to identify the coarse-grained problem areas and potential improvement options. Examples of these models are capability maturity model, which is in fact a famous model and is commonly known as CMM, and similarly capability maturity model integration, which is called CMMI. On the other hand, continuous improvement approaches can be used to develop company-specific solutions for important problems and to assess the effects of improvement actions. The example of this model is Sigma model, and in fact, there are also some other models. In this lecture, we will confine our discussion to only the CMM, CMMI, and Six Sigma. We will have further discussion on process improvement when we will study the topics related to our course learning outcome number 4, that is software process improvement. The capability maturity model is a model used to develop and refine an organization's software development processes. This model was developed in 1980s at the Software Engineering Institute, which is commonly known as SEI at Carnegie Mellon University, USA. The SEI's mission is to promote software technology transfer, particularly to US defense contractors, and it has a profound influence on software process improvement. In contrast to the ISO 9001, which specifies a minimal acceptable quality level for software processes, the CMM establishes a framework for continuously improving the processes, and in fact is more explicit than the ISO standard in defining the means to be applied for process improvement. The CMM has 5 levels, and each level has various key process areas defined. To achieve a certain level of the CMM, and the requirements related to that a specific key process area have to be met. So there are 5 levels in CMM, and they include initial, repeatable, defined, managed, and optimizing. So at the initial level, the processes are not organized, or even these processes they are chaotic. Success is likely to depend on individual efforts, because processes would not be sufficiently defined and documented to allow them to be replicated. Then the second level is repeatable. So at this level, basic project management techniques are established, and successful practices they could be repeated, because the required processes would have been made established, defined, and documented. Then the third level, define. At this level, an organization has developed its own standard software processes through greater attention to particular on like documentation, standardization, and integration. Then the fourth level is a managed level. At this level, an organization monitors and controls its processes through data collection and analysis. Whereas the last level is optimizing. At this level, the processes are constantly being improved through monitoring feedback from current processes, and introducing innovative processes to better serve the organization's particular needs. Here is the staged representation of the capability maturity model. We see that the initial level, that is level 1, resides at the bottom, whereas the highest level of this model, which is level 5, is at top. So in order to achieve a particular level, an organization needs to fulfill the requirements of that particular level. These requirements are actually that these requirements imposed by each level are called key process areas, or KPAs. As we can see here, that the key process areas related to the repeatable level, which is level 2, they include requirements management, software project planning, software project tracking and oversight, software subcontract management, software quality assurance, software configuration management. Similarly, for level 3, there are other key process areas such as peer reviews, intergroup coordination, software product engineering, integrated software management training programs, organization process definition, and organization process focus. Now, if an organization wants to achieve a certain level of the CMM, then it needs to meet all the requirements that are related to the key process areas of that level. In other words, it needs to meet or uplift its procedures by fulfilling all the requirements that are defined by the key process areas. For example, to reach level 2, the requirements related to the key process area of level 2 need to be satisfied. For example, the organization will have to define its requirements management for procedures as per the guidelines of the capability maturity model. If the organizational procedures regarding the requirements management are are chaotic or not standardized, then the organization needs to improve its requirements management practices so that they are in compliance with the requirements management guidelines of the CMM model. Similarly, software, some organizations might not be performing appropriate project planning activities. But if they want to achieve CMM level 2, then they need to uplift their project planning processes by following the guidelines of the specific key process areas. Likewise, the requirements of all the key process areas will have to be met in order to achieve a specific level of CMMM. We see that if a rigorous process is followed during the software development, the quality of the products developed through that process that will be high. Moreover, achieving a particular level of CMM helps organizations get an advantage over the competitors in the market in winning the bids or, for example, tenders, because naturally the clients would prefer an organization that is compliant with particular level of CMM than those who are not compliant. Then the CMMI model. The CMMI model expands beyond software engineering to help any organization to measure their capabilities and uh, improve their performance. Moreover, CMMI is understandable, accessible, and flexible enough to be integrated with other methodologies such as like Agile. The CMMI model helps organizations understand their current level of capabilities and performance, and offers guidelines to optimize the business results, to optimize or improve their business processes. How this model is different from CMM. The CMM measures the maturity level of an organization by determining if an organization completes the specific activities listed in the key process areas without any specific concern on whether the completion of such activity leads to the desired results or not. Although CMMI is also an activity-based approach, but the major difference here is that the CMMI takes a more result-oriented approach when defining and measuring the key process areas. CMM documents industry best practices, and they are actually categorized on into different categories, and they are actually helpful for organizations in evaluating and improving their processes. Then the levels in CMMI. Just like CMM, it also has 5 levels, that is initial, repeat, defined, managed, and optimized. So the first level, that is initial, this level describes an immature organization without any defined processes, and in fact those processes they run in an ad hoc, uncontrolled, and reactive manner. Then level 2 of CMMI requires management of organizational requirements through planned, measured, and controlled processes. Whereas level 3, which is defined, it is an in fact improvement of CMMI level 2 and focuses on organizational standardization and deployment of processes. Whereas level 4, which is managed, it actually identifies sub-processes that significantly contribute to the efficiency of the overall processes. Whereas level 5, which is optimized, this focuses on continuously improving the processes and their performance through incremental and innovative technological improvements. Then the CMMI has 22 process areas that are further organized into four groups. And these four groups they include process management, project management, engineering, and support. Here we see the level-wise assignment of different key process areas in CMMI. At maturity level 1, which is initial level, we see that there are no process areas. So it means that at this process, as I mentioned before, that there are no processes defined. Then at maturity level 2, which is managed, there are certain key process areas that are defined just like they were defined in CMM. Like these areas include configuration management, measurement and analysis, project monitoring and control, project planning, uh, process and product quality assurance, requirements management, and supplier agreement management. So, for any organization to meet or achieve the level 2 of CMMI, that organization needs to meet the specific requirements that are defined for each of the key process areas uh, 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 for this CMMI model. Then at level 3, we see that there are also different key process areas, and these key process areas include decision analysis and resolution, integrated project management, organizational process definition, organizational training, organizational process focus, then product integration, requirements development, risk management, technical solution, validation, and verification. Similarly, at level 4, which is quantitatively managed, at this level, the key process areas they are organizational process performance and quantitative project management. Then at level 5, which is the highest level and is called optimizing, there are key process areas that include causal analysis and resolution and organizational process performance management. So we see that here there are in fact significant there are significant changes in terms of the process areas as compared to the CMM model. However, it is important to understand that either it is CMM or CMMI, though both the models they have emphasis on improving the quality of the software development processes. So here is a representation of the four groups and the related key process areas. So we see that in process management group or category, the related process areas are organizational process definition, organizational process focus, organizational training, organizational process performance, and organizational innovation and deployment. Similarly, the second category is project management, and the key process areas related to this are project planning, project monitoring and control, supplier agreement management, integrated project management, risk management, quantitative project management. The third category is, in fact, engineering category. And here, in fact, mostly the activities that are purely related to that are actually the development activities, they belong to this category. For example, you can see that we have requirements management here. Similarly, requirements development is here, technical solutions, product integration, verification, and validation. So these are in fact core development activities, and they have been categorized in the engineering group. Whereas uh, uh, the sport group that has configuration management, process and product quality management, measurement and analysis, decision analysis and resolution, and causal analysis and resolution. So that's all for our discussion about the CMM and CMMI. In fact, for any organization that is interested in improving its processes, it is important to uh, improve its processes according to the guidelines of the CMM or CMMI model. The materials in this video are based on the book titled Software Process Definition and Management. For more details, you can consult this book. Thank you.